that people know. Actually, I know many people already know about you, but it's good to have a quick introduction of yours.
First up, thanks for having me here today, Richa. It's been a pleasure. Sorry for taking long because I have been traveling a lot, especially with the World Cup thing that you know. I was right there at the World Cup finals in Barbados. It was such a great feeling. So I had to push our meeting a little longer from that out. But thanks for the patience. Thanks for understanding my travel and giving me that space, right? Because not a lot of people do that. Usually they're like quite naggy around recording, getting on to record this one, right? So thanks. So a little bit about myself. I'm Vijay, founder and the CEO of bitsCrunch. We crunch each and every bits of data behind blockchain. Right? That's bitsCrunch for you. And then we sit and decode. We make blockchain data human readable, because usually blockchain is like alien for most of the people, like for myself and for most others. People feel blockchain is either scammy or they lose a lot of money, and that's where we want to start. We don't want the experience that I had or my friends had in the space. So we want to make sure that nobody is scammed, nobody is rug pulled, nobody is feeling lost about in the space. And we created bitsCrunch. A little more on myself. I completed my bachelor's in India and then flew to Germany a decade ago. In fact, I'm living in Munich for the last 11 years now. Been in Europe for a good period of time. Almost 1/3 of my life is now in Munich. So it's been a wonderful journey. I've worked for Siemens, I've worked for Volkswagen, two amazing products, two amazing companies in Germany, not just in Germany, but global companies. And I started bitsCrunch 3 years ago. We have raised $12.5 million. So that translates to more than 100 crores in India. So from coming from a humble background to raising 100 plus crores, I'm really grateful. I'm really glad to have such a team. Most of the credits should go to the team, right? I sort of steal those credits from them most of the times, but they deserve a lot. They deserve a lot more appreciation than me. And looking forward to talking to you over the next 15-20 minutes.
Sure. But Vijay, before we go ahead, actually I have a question. Like, from like regular 9 to 5, how like you switch to entrepreneurship? Like, the reason why I'm asking, it's not for just me, for everyone who wants to venture out and take that plunge. Like, what made you decide to take that plunge, and you were sure that this will work?
I mean, if I have to be honest, I wasn't sure, right, that this will work. And the reason why I say that is, it is blockchain, it is NFTs, it's a very niche industry. Like, even if I walk down the streets, if I go grab a coffee or go to a supermarket to grab a couple of tomatoes, nobody literally knows blockchain, right? If I say that it's a food delivery app like Zomato or Swiggy or Leafret, people can understand. If I can say it's a payment application, people can relate that, is it a Paytm or is it a PhonePe, right? Or is it a Google Pay? But what we started was blockchain. We started was NFTs, which was totally unheard of. So I wasn't sure that this will take off, this will succeed. I mean, deep down, I believed in the mission. I believed in what I wanted to build with these lovely team. But for sure, there is always an uncertainty, right? There is always this ifs and buts. What if it doesn't work? What if this goes wrong? What if this happens?
Yeah.
There were a lot of ifs and buts, but amazing support from my wife, Ratina Mangai. She's we were into this arranged marriage setup, right? It was not even a love marriage, and I believe it was the 3rd year after marriage. I said, okay, it's boring for me. I'm gonna start up. Any girl in this earth would have been taken back. I mean, she was taken back initially, but then she stood by me and she said, okay, let's give it a shot. And to add on top, she was pregnant that time. and no girl ever can actually take or willing to take a risk when you're
Carrying,
pregnant,
yeah.
right?
Yeah.
So that was very supportive. I got really good support from my family. My dad is a police, my mom is a teacher. They hail from India, from Tirunelveli, which is a town down south of Tamil Nadu. I come from a very a typical tier 2, tier 3 city, right? So to come from there, to start something and to have raised 100 plus crores, I'm feeling grateful. I mean, no words can describe the entire journey. It's a great journey.
I would say shout out to your wife and your parents.
Thanks a lot.
And
Yeah, family is always the pillar, right? For
yeah,
any entrepreneur, you go and check with any entrepreneur. I believe this will be a similar story with most of them. It will be
yeah,
their
agree.
wife, or brothers, or sisters, or mom and dad. These are the pillars of, I believe, the entrepreneurs, and not just my family, right? It's my co-founders' family, it's my team's family. They have sacrificed a lot of their nappy times, and changing nappies for their babies and changing their sleep cycles. So it's a collective effort, it's a team effort, and I'm glad it is coming out well.
Yeah, nice. I've been there, so I can vouch for that. And just if you can give us a brief overview of bitsCrunch, what is it about and its mission?
Yep. Like I just described a couple of minutes back, bitsCrunch, we crunch each and every bits of data. So now I'll explain, I'll dig in deeper what is that. So blockchain is fragmented. It is just like not human readable, right? If you go out there on the streets, it is really tough to make people understand what is blockchain and why are there so many blockchains. So we took that as a challenge. We wanted to make blockchain understandable, and that's where the experience comes in, right? I'm a data scientist, I'm a data professional all these years with Volkswagen and Siemens, and it's quite the same with my co-founders as well. So having got this data experience, we wanted to build something on blockchain data. And when we started, people were losing money in the space. They were losing trust in the space. The transparency was not there. So we wanted to address that, and glad it worked. So we now index over several terabytes of data. So as we speak, we have indexed a lot of blockchain data into our servers. So we have our own data repositories, our own data servers, which runs round the clock as we speak. So even when we are talking, there are millions of transactions that are happening, thousands of transactions that are happening. Those are getting indexed as we speak. And we sit and clean that data, make it human readable, human understandable. We make lovely charts. We give beautiful insights to businesses. We sell it to businesses. We sell it to traders. We sell it to riches and retail as well. So it's at the end of the day, if anybody wants to understand what is blockchain, if anybody wants to see what is happening with Ethereum, what is happening with Polygon and all these chains, they now have a place. They now have a place to go and check out all these numbers. And numbers, at the end of the day, they don't lie. Right? Numbers are very powerful. So we use numbers to showcase what we have in store.
Nice. Perfect. Actually, that really sums it up. And I promise this would be the last question. What advice would you give to the budding entrepreneurs who are just starting out, or people who are contemplating to take that leap into entrepreneurship? And I'm not done with this. The next point is also for the people, maybe I'm getting greedy here, but also for the people who are looking for changing their locations, maybe, taking that, in fact, taking that decision itself, it's daunting for some people. So who are looking for not just change in their location plus entrepreneurship, both, how do you address it? Because you also came from India, came to Munich and built everything around that, and then into entrepreneurship. So maybe please address these 2 points.
Sure. So first things first. So addressing budding entrepreneurs who are willing to start and those who are building, right? So those who are willing to start, I would say, don't wait for the right time. I mean, most of the time, I hear people wait for the right time. They wait for the right moment to start something. That is, I would say that's a wrong way to approach things. If you like something, if you think something will work out, I would say jump onto it, right? I mean, unless you dive into it, you won't experience it. I mean, it's like learning swimming, right? You cannot read how to swim on a book. How can you learn swimming by just reading through a book, right? You have to dive into the waters. You have to just spread your arms and legs and try to swim. That's how you learn swimming. Same with driving, right? You cannot learn driving just by books. You cannot see, okay, change this gear from this gear. You cannot read it. It's not a manual, right? Unless you get onto the car, press the accelerator, put on the brakes, that is how you learn driving. So I believe entrepreneurship is similar. You have to dive into it to learn more about it. And for those who are actually building, like the budding entrepreneurs, I mean, even I consider myself as a budding entrepreneur. Raising 12 million doesn't mean that I am a prolific entrepreneur. But for those who are building, I would say just keep your heads down and focus on building. Your time will come. Don't just look for entrepreneurship as a money-making opportunity. Money will eventually come if you build quality stuff, right? Amazon CEO is now one of the richest men in the world. It's not because of an overnight thing. So wait for it. Your time will come. Constantly build things that can improve the society, that can add value to the society, and don't expect anything in return. Rather just focus on what you wanted to build and what you wanted to build. That would be my advice. And for those who are willing to relocate, the second question, I would say, don't be worried too much. Obviously, relocation is a messy thing, right? You have to, all your life you have been on a place, but then relocating it to a different place, it gives you nightmares. I'm sure people go into a lot of depression. I've experienced a lot of people who get into depression. Rather, I would say talk to people, go out there, express yourself, go and attend local events. There will be your local community no matter where you are in this world. Even if you go to Antarctica, there will be an Indian, there will be somebody whom you can actually chat.
That is true.
So go out there, express yourself, talk to people, talk to those who lend their time, even if it is a quick 2-minute, 5-minute chat. Express yourself, chat, and then everything is going to change, right? I mean, at the end of the day, nothing is permanent. Right?
Yeah.
Today you might relocate to London or Munich or somewhere in the world. But then what about 10 years down the line or 20 years down the line? If your child, if your kid wants to study in Harvard or the London Business School, you might think about the relocation again. Right?
Yeah.
So take everything as a new opportunity, as a new challenge, and just face it. And at the end of the day, bottom line is simple. Unless you dive into it, you won't experience it.
Nice. I am already motivated, to be honest. I don't know about others, but on your point, definitely thinking of it as a challenge and dive directly into it. Definitely. Thanks, Vijay. Actually, thanks for your time. I know it has been like so, your time has so much of value and you just took out time to, come and discuss. Thank you.
Thanks a lot.
That's it from our end.
Thanks a lot. Looking forward to how it is going to come out on the channels. Send you the link and
definitely. I will. The moment it is out, first thing I'll go and do is give you the link and so that you can also watch. Okay. Yeah. Thank you.
Awesome.